Hi, I'm here with Nick Hurd MP. Thank you, Nick, for joining us.
Pleasure.
Nick Hurd is the former Minister for Charities, and I am delighted to have him here with me today to kickstart one of our first videos and vlogs for the Beyond the School Run YouTube channel, and to really launch our Summer of Inspiration video vlogs and share some of the messages and the inspiring people that I've met on my way with Beyond the School Run with you today, to give you some of the messages and some of the inspiration that I received over the last couple of years. So welcome, Nick.
Great pleasure.
It's lovely to have you here today.
Congratulations on what you're doing.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you to all
Very
your
exciting.
support. It's very kind. So we're here today to talk about three areas, and these three areas of particular interest to Beyond the School Run and the Beyond the School Run audience of parents. And these are the three areas that you and I have talked about when we've met over the last couple of occasions. The first one is about social giving and volunteering. As you know, this is a big part of Beyond the School Run, and how I believe and we believe that sometimes those steps can be really valuable in helping you return to them when you've had a period of time out of the workplace, returning and reconnecting with your skills again. The second area we're going to talk about is social enterprise, which again I'm very passionate about because that's a journey that I'm currently on. And the third one is about education, because this is also something we've just launched on Beyond the School Run. So we're just going to start today with the whole volunteering side. So if we have someone watching the video today who is thinking, how do they take their first steps? They've maybe been at home caring for their children for the last few years, and they're thinking, how do I take my first steps forward? If they were looking at volunteering as an option, what would you suggest as a few ideas or a few pointers as where they could go?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is do it.
Yeah. Yes,
take that step. Take that step, because everyone's got something to offer.
Yes.
Everyone, however busy, can find some time.
Yes.
Everyone's got a talent to share, or some experience to share. And just my experience from having been 4 years as Minister for Charities and meeting hundreds of organisations and thousands of people is that volunteering is really a route to self-fulfilment and people finding a purpose.
Yes.
In life, and just that ability to make a difference to someone else is just incredibly powerful. And there are lots of organisations out there that exist to try and create those opportunities and connect people to those opportunities. And so the answer to your question is, there are great platforms like Do It.
Yes.
Which is the big daddy of the volunteering websites. They make it as easy as possible to connect you to a volunteering opportunity that's right for you in your area.
Yes.
In many areas, there are still volunteer centres, people who can actually hold your hand and guide you to what's on offer locally. If you've got a particular cause that you're passionate about, whether it be helping young people read or helping make sure that your community is more dementia friendly, there are organisations, schools or Alzheimer's Society to connect with locally, saying, how can I help?
Yes.
But the key thing is just stop thinking about it.
Do it. And this is something that I'm really passionate about, is actually just doing it and taking those steps, which we've talked a lot about on Beyond the School Run. And I think that's a key point here, is just to take that step. And it doesn't have to be hours and hours, and it doesn't have to be a full commitment, but 1 hour, one conversation that can make the greatest difference to your lives and the lives of others. And I found, certainly on my journey in the work that I did in the volunteering side, is it really reconnected me with skills I'd forgotten or didn't even know I had. So I think that's a great opportunity as well, to sort of rediscover parts of yourself that you never knew existed, at the same time of it being a two-way thing.
I've met so many people over the years that have had exactly that experience, and it's been a defining moment for them in helping them kind of work out who they are and what they're good at.
Yeah.
And I've had so many conversations with people saying, let's be clear, everything I give, I get two back in return through this experience. It's so rich, it's two-way. You can make an enormous difference with your time, but what you get from it just can be transformative.
Absolutely transformative. And as you also pointed out, the second key point I think here is everyone has an individual valuable talent. And that collectively will be so powerful to charities, to organisations, and to the change of the world that we kind of are looking for.
Yeah. And you're not alone. 15 million people out there volunteer regularly. The value of this is enormous. It's kind of fundamental to how this country works. Right. But there are still lots of people who don't get involved, who'd like to get involved. Yes. If they were connected to the right opportunity. But it requires people to self-start and connect with the things that do exist that are out there to help.
That's great. And Do It is a fantastic organisation that showcases a whole range of different charities, because everyone may connect with something slightly different. And we'll have them on the website. We have them on the website at beyondtheschoolrun.com, and we will be sharing more information with you about them later. Great. So thank you, Nick, for that. The second thing we really wanted to talk about was social enterprise. So I'm sure there are people out there that have had an experience or learning something through being on their parenting journey that is valuable to other people, and with that they can share their vision, share their purpose. And certainly the people I've met on my way with Beyond the School Run, when I started to have the seed of the idea, and meeting people like yourself and others who inspired me and helped me kind of continue to grow that idea. What would you suggest to those that may be watching now and thinking, should I go ahead with it, or where do I even start in discussing this with people?
Yeah, well, follow your passion.
Yeah.
There are lots of other people out there doing this, and in fact, the UK is a world leader in terms of developing this idea of social enterprise. Now, what do we mean by that? Social enterprises are not charities; they're businesses. They just want to use profit for a different purpose, and they want to use profit to fulfil a social mission, whatever that is. And I think it's an incredibly exciting movement. And to give you one flavour of it, we're sitting here in London. 1 in 4 start-up businesses in London now are social enterprises.
Wow.
And they're particularly being driven by women and young people. They're an enormously valuable part of our sort of economic landscape. And again, we've done a huge amount in this country to kind of support and nurture social enterprise. So again, there are great organisations out there. Social Enterprise UK is the kind of body that holds this together, but there are great organisations like Unlimited, School for Social Entrepreneurs, that exist to try and nurture people through, these difficult early stages of setting up a new venture. Whether it's a social one or a normal one, this is a challenging process. But again, there are people out there whose passion is to help people, and again, there are thousands of people out there doing this in communities across the country who just see business in a new way, and I think it's enormously exciting. And it's a global thing now. And the UK's at the front of it. So again, just encourage people, just follow your passion and do it.
Yes, absolutely. So follow your passion. We'll have links to those various enterprises on the website, Unlimited, Social Enterprise UK, and each of those will kind of help you on your steps forward. But the main thing is, if you have a vision, you have a passion, take those steps forward, because the world we definitely kind of need it. So thank you. Social enterprise and social giving. The final point we wanted to talk about was education, because as most of you know who've been following me on the School Run, this is an area that we've launched on the website recently. And the reason for that is we believe that parents, key to their kind of growth and their development is their connection with the school system in supporting their kids can take a lot of time. So we want to open up the discussion. We want to create a place where parents can have their voices heard, but also connect with schools and the government in helping the continual evolution of the school system. So it's really just to kind of touch on, really sort of here, just kind of recognising the fact that we're sort of, as government and parents and schools, discussing the continued development and also the value of everyone's opinions and experiences in this is really key.
Well, your instinct is absolutely right. We've got a big challenge in this country in terms of raising the standards of schools. Our kids are growing up in a complex and challenging world, and how we prepare them for life and work is just a very daunting challenge. And there are too many schools across the country that aren't good enough. And to use the phrase, we are in this together, and it's not something that the schools can do on their own, or government can be wholly responsible for. This is something that we're all responsible. It's one of the most important things we do as a country: prepare our children. And the more that we can get government, the education establishment, and I think I think employers as well, and parents in a conversation around how what's needed and how we can improve the system in the area we're in, the better. And schools are lucky in the sense that they've got these networks to tap into. Parents, ex-pupils, and yet if we're honest, the system doesn't do enough to tap into the kind of expertise, experience, passion, skills that are out there. And I think that's a missed opportunity, because I don't think we're making the best use of all the resources that we've got.
And this is something we talked about and I'm very passionate about. I believe a lot of those skills that can be shared are at the school gates, but we need to make the connection between the schools, the parents, and utilise those skills to help benefit the school system and in growing as well. So I think to recognise that it's an exciting time of growth for the education system, because we're here recognising that we need to work on it. And I think together we can do some really interesting things.
I'm sure that's right. So I spend a lot of time going in to talk to kids in schools in my constituencies in Ruislip and Northwood and Peanut, and I find they're enormously interested about conversations about people's careers.
Yes.
And people's experiences. They're growing up in a world of so much choice, but it's daunting. And they, we're working on it, but they don't have access to good enough information. Again, we all tend to be influenced by what our parents did and what our family does, but they're really hungry for good information about what does it mean to be an engineer? And I'm a girl. Can I be an engineer?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
The more that we can encourage people to offer themselves to go to the schools and say, look, this is what I know, or this is what I've learned. Can I share it with people? And the state system in this country. People tend to leave school. They really leave school.
Yes.
And yet in the private system, the networks exist that kind of help people coming out of those schools. I'd love to see in the state system more people think, okay, well, actually, I wonder how I could help out my old school.
Yes.
Or I wonder if they'd be interested in hearing what I've learnt.
Yes.
Rather than just saying, I can't wait to get out of there.
Yes, I absolutely
and I'll never
agree.
go back.
Yeah, that's it. I absolutely agree. And we touched on this last time, and I think actually going back and sharing any bit of that information may just inspire one child or another. And like you say, there might be a woman that goes in.
Information. Yeah.
And to know what people are really, really doing in the real world, I think is absolutely valuable. And that stories and everyone's experiences is a lot of the answers that we're looking for here, I think. So if any of you today can kind of, if you have any ideas or any inspiration around what Nick and I have talked about with regards to the education system, please post it and share it with us. But certainly we feel that sort of going back to your school and sharing what you've been doing would be hugely, hugely valuable. Yeah. So Nick, thank you so much for today. You've been a great inspiration to me.
Good luck with it all. It's
thank you. And
very exciting.
This will inspire a great many others. And thank you to all of you out there, and together we can make the greatest difference to our lives and the lives of others. So we'll connect soon. Thank you.
Got you in?